So I was looking at some marketing and different things for my business, my wig business, and I everyone kept on saying that if you're going to use social media and multimedia marketing, for you to go ahead and put yourself out there on that platform that you're going to use. So I decided to go ahead and make my first YouTube video, because I had been like starting YouTube content, but never editing it and going through with it. So today I decided I'm going to go ahead and take this leap of faith and jump out on it and go ahead and do it, because if I don't, I'll never know the outcome of what I should have or could have done. So today I introduce to you Miss C.James, which I'm lovingly known as Kamisha to everybody, or Aunt Kamisha, whatever. But I'm also one of the OG natural girls. So OG natural girls to me are the ones that have been natural since 2000 since 2000 or better, or since, because I became natural in 2008. So my actual naturalversary is coming up in January. So that's how long. January 2008 is how long I've been natural. I moved from North Carolina to Maryland, to Annapolis, Maryland back in 2008, and I worked at the Naval Academy, and my hair started beginning to come out really, really bad and start to shed. So I'm gonna give you a little background. So when it began to shed, I went to the Dudley Hair School to get one of the students to cut it off, just to cut it shorter, because I knew it was breaking really bad. So the lady, the young girl didn't want to cut a lot of my hair off, so she decided to go ahead. I'm sorry, someone would call. I'm recording this first video on my phone, actually. So she called the instructor over, a little older lady, and the lady began to tell me that the breakage in my hair was coming from internal, which was that it must be some kind of stress. That's why I said I wasn't stressed out or anything. I just moved up there. I did have a lot of stress on me, but I was sort of I had good coverage. Like I wear it on the inside of me, but I wouldn't show it. And she said, because it's taking your hair out from the inside out, not the outside in. So, which means that it's not being broke off by like, this is not breakage. This is a form of alopecia in my temple line. It's hereditary in my family. So, but it comes from pulling, yanking, tugging, so that would cause breakage or chemical breakage or something like that. So when she told me that, she proceeded to tell the girl to go ahead and cut it, and that I was going to have to get the back of it tapered off, and I told her that was fine with me. I didn't care. I've always been big on, if you cut it, it'll grow back. It's just hair. So I'm sorry, I have hair all over me. I'm sitting at my sewing machine, actually getting ready to make a wig unit, and that'll be a part of my YouTube blog too, is making wig units, talking about wigs, talking about alopecia, talking about different topics that go along with hair, the untold truths about things that you can and can't use on your hair. A lot of people, anyway, let me finish the story behind my hair coming out. So after the lady cut my hair, I still noticed that the breakage wasn't covered by the cut. And I mean, it wasn't that it wasn't covered, it was that more of it needed to be cut off. So when I went to the next girl, I knew then that I was going to cut all my hair off to a brush cut, because it took me 4.5 hours, 5 hours, and my hair was about that long to get my hair done that day. And I said, I don't ever want to come back to another. I don't want to do this no more. I'm good. To get a wrapping set, a wrapping curl, took me that long for her to cut it and everything. And so when she went to cut it, she cut it To the point probably I could still curl the top of it, you know, it's about yay long. I went home that evening or the next day and the hairstyle was gone, right? Completely gone because my hair doesn't hold a curl. And I went on to cut the rest of it off. I got some clippers on my own because I used to cut my own hair anyway back in the day. So then I cut it off. And from there was a struggle because most naturals will tell you that the biggest struggle that they have is from, I'm sorry, that's my guy in the background, is from months 0 to 12. You gotta be strong from 0 to 12. You gotta be strong from cut to finish. If you're going with a big chop, I tell everybody you don't have to start with a big chop. You can start progressively cutting, but if you want to do the big chop, just remember your head is shaped. If your head is shaped funny and you don't know it up under there, you don't tell these people to cut your hair off. You know, make sure you pull your hair back real tight and look at it and make sure you want that bald head look. I did the big chop because I knew that my head was shaped, you know, okay for me to do a big chop on my head. So when I cut it, I knew I was going to look like either my brother or my daddy. So, with that being said, I had months that I would walk past the creamy crack and I wanted it. Yes, I did. I have times now that, you know, I think about it, but girl, it moved me. The only reason I think about it is because I want to try it to see how my hair does now compared to then. Because when I transition, and I don't know about a lot of naturals, this is going to be like probably about a 20-minute video. Well, probably about 20 minute video, right? Just an introductory video of me and my, you know, my Madame C.J. and all that stuff that I call myself. And me becoming the NC hair plug and using this platform right here to launch my career. I'm sorry if I got bleach all over me because I was bleaching a unit. I bleached a unit, I colored one, and I looked a mess. But, what was I saying? I don't forgot now. Anyway, so when I started out with my natural journey, it was product after product after product, really, because I didn't know what my natural hair looked like because I hadn't seen my natural hair since I was 11 years old. I was 30. I was 30 years old. I hadn't seen my natural hair since I was 11. I'm sorry I look like this too, because I was trying on wigs and stuff. I mean, I really could have came up here better, but I figure if you see me naturally, in my natural view, then everything I do from here is upshots, because I'm beautiful naturally, like with no earrings, no makeup, no anything. My spirit is beautiful. My insides are, are great. I have this like bubbly personality, and I actually love hair. Like since I was probably 8 years old, I figured out that my mom didn't know how to really do hair once she had me. It is told that she did great hair prior to having me, though. And I mean, this is a lot of people that said that she used to do great hair until she had a girl. She had 3 boys in the beginning, so I guess she lost the magic touch because she stopped doing hair. But I've loved to do hair since I was about 8. I remember I sat when I was 8 years old and I braided every strand of my Cabbage Patch Dolls hair. And if you can remember, Cabbage Patch Dolls used to come in yarn. So I sat there and I took 3 strands of that yarn until I learned how to plait all strands of their hair, and I would take it out and I would redo it again, because I knew if I did them bigger and bigger and bigger, my grip would get better and better and better. No lie, that is a true story, and anybody that knows Cabbage Patch Dolls knows it's a true story. That was yarn hair, and it was actually in strings, and you can braid it 3 at a time, 4 at a time, 5 at a time, and get it bigger and bigger and bigger. When I was in middle school and high school, I actually did some of the girls' hair back when I was in high school and middle school. I think I did some prom hairdos. I did some, class picture hairdos, I think, or I helped or something, or fixed them or something. I can't remember, but I did. I've had in my life, if I had to choose, I would have did hair from the start. But I wanted to leave home and go in. I went in the military. I'm a veteran. I went in the military, and I came out. I went to Operation Iraqi Freedom. I also did what is the name of it? I can't remember. It was in Saudi Arabia back in '96, and it's a humbling experience to be in the military, because you get family when you're in the military that you never know that you guys would click and become that close knit, you know. And military community is what they call a large community, but it's very, very small. I also worked at the Naval Academy. I worked at Naval Hospital Camp Lejeune for a while, for a long time. I actually just left there in August. So, I have 3 children. I do. And you'll see me do live videos with them sometimes, but they're going to hate me. You'll see me do videos. This one right here, I'm actually recording it directly onto YouTube platform. So there's no cutting it or editing it. What you hear is what you hear, and what you get is what you get. So this is to get you guys to like, tag, and share it. Because the information I've given you is like natural hair tips, natural skincare tips. I'll be doing reviews on hair from different hair companies, because I have a lot of distributors that I use. I might have a distributor I use for lace frontals. I might have one that does better transparent laces than they do HD lace. I might have one that does 13 by 6s, but they have great 13 by 4s. You have to I have to embrace the fact that I have this stuff, you know, and I'll tell you, well, you know, how to fix a lace if you tear it, by helping you ventilate it. No, I do not know how to ventilate. I am not certified in ventilating a wig, but I do know how to fix a torn lace. I'll also show you, it's just be different things, like life, you know. Hair is my thing. Hair is my life.
The TV cut off.
Okay, I'll cut it back on. That's my baby. So, that's a guy baby. But I hope that soon my videos will be popping, and I know that I have that this will be great and everything. You know, it'll be a slow start to it, but as soon as I get and learn how to do the editing and everything to actual videos that I shoot on my phone, and able to get them on my laptop and cut them and edit them, or have my kids help me with the editing and stuff and show me how to do it, I think it'll be better then. But thank you guys for listening to me do this rant, and introducing to you my YouTube page. Like, tag, and share. Please subscribe to my page. If for nothing else, subscribe to my page just because you want to see what I'm going to post next. I don't do any bashing of any sort of anybody, but I might give you some reviews on. I'm going to give you a lot of reviews. I'm going to tell you what I think is like really bad products to use on your hair. Really good products that I think you should use on your hair. Different hair types require different things. And I think this is the lost key factor in black hair. You know, in black hair, we have a tendency to not realize that our hair has 3 different grades. Usually, every black head has 3 different textures. You have your good texture here, as they call it. Some have their good texture here. Mine is here. My good texture is from here to here. Here is what I call my sheep's wool, is this spot. And I'm gonna give you a reason why I'd say this. This spot is my bad spot, and this is my Indian hair back here in the back, because it actually has full curls, honey. It's popping. It's popping. It would be dangly little mixed girl curls, if that's what you want to call it. And then here, I have tighter curls, which are more of not a 4C. I'm gonna say a 3C, because it's more of a spiral curl, but it's not tight. It's not. It is really tight. I'm gonna go with a 4. No, because 4 is really thick. I don't have thick hair, and it's not coarse. Anyway, here, usually if your hair is tighter here, it's because where you slept at. It depends on how you slept when you were a baby, how you sleep now. Usually most people like have a tendency to do this in their hair, and women, I can see that breakage. I can see your thought process here. Some people do this, and that's where they have breakage. Or they have breakage here because they use first of all, they use a cotton pillowcase. They don't sleep on satin. And plug, I make satin bonnets. Plug, I sell hair. Plug, I sell wigs. Plug, I make wigs. Plug, I do it all. Alright? So, right here, you're going to have that rubbing where your hair is causing friction to the pillowcase, and that cotton is causing a friction to your hair, and it's breaking it. Stop! And it's breaking it. I'm sorry. I had to do that. But, so, when you do that, then you have a whole nother texture in that part. Most people have that area. So, what I want you to do, right, under this post, if your family, say, family, under this post, right, under the post, what I want you to do is subscribe to my channel. Cut your notifications on so you'll be notified whenever I come on this platform. And thank you to YouTube for making this possible. Oh my gosh. And thank you to everybody who's going to support me here in the future. Because this is the launch of something great. I'll see you guys on the way up.